This is Lauren.
This is Trey.
And this
is the Partnership Podcast. On this week's episode, we discuss resiliency, which is another way of saying, like, what do we have capacity for and when? Lauren and I spent some time away from each other, and we don't do a lot of communicating when we're apart, and we discuss why. And then we both ouched each other. And then we talk about how it happened and how we, come back to get in each other's good graces. Enjoy. You got a fist away from that microphone, Bay?
Yeah. It's a different kind of fisting.
Would I ever get fisted? No. I don't even like a finger in my ass, so I don't think I'd get fisted.
Welcome to the Partnership Podcast.
We'll edit that out. That's fine. We're not including that. You already know I'm including that.
I know you're including
If it's funny, if it sounds funny,
that was good.
It's staying in.
God bless our regular listeners.
Hey, what the fuck? People were making fun of my hair last week?
Mm-hmm. Baby.
What the fuck?
Had you seen yourself?
Oh, I looked like a mess.
You did. And I said, that's the Trey I love.
Don't make fun of my hair.
You know what? You can do your hair and look handsome, but also you're not like that. This podcast, we could market, we could do ourselves as like these glossy, put together people. That is not what this podcast is.
You want to make fun of my hair? You come over and make fun of my hair to my face like a man or a woman.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this woman would. She's got a great sense of humor.
Yeah, come on over. See what happens.
Our listeners are the
Especially
best.
if you're smaller than me and slight of frame, I'll fight you.
The best is this audience checks in on you.
On me? That's so funny because I don't like being checked in on.
I know.
It's like, mind your
I have
business.
so many clients who are like, how's Trey's cold? And I'm like, cold? Because
I never had a
audience,
cold. Mind your fucking business.
This podcast comes out a week after we'll record usually on a Wednesday, and then the podcast comes out on Monday. And so by the time you all hear it or are sharing with me your thoughts on the most recent podcast, life has gone on. Things have moved around. I don't remember Trey's livelihood. How well
my livelihood?
how well he's doing. I don't remember these things. So it's always funny when people are like, how's Trey doing? And I'm like, what? They're like, he's cold. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
I made it through. Thank you for your prayers.
He's doing just good. Just good. What do you want to talk about today?
I don't know.
I had a grumpy morning.
Tell me about your Grouchosaurus morning, honey. Were you a Grouchopotamus?
I'm just a Grouchopotamus.
Were you a
So
Grumposaurus?
the baby started high school this week, and also it was full moon. Also it was business retreat for the Hollandaise and us and me. Also I have school this upcoming weekend. It was just a busy week and also menstruating. And I anticipated in my morning pages, you can see, I anticipate that Friday I would be my grouchy self. How did you say I get when I'm overwhelmed? To the other side of the other day, I get whiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're pretty whiny. Yeah.
What does that look like?
I'd never say that to your face, though.
You just said it for the whole.
I say it behind your back.
The whole world on a podcast. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a whiny morning. I recorded an entire podcast. It didn't upload. My computer spazzed out.
That fucking sucks. There's a difference between, I know we like to make jokes. I know I like to fool around on here, but.
You like to fool around in general.
There's a difference. There's a difference between like whiny and like sharing things like that where it's like, I did a podcast, it didn't render correctly, I have to do it again. I can relate to that where it's like, fuck. And then my mind goes to like, how do we prevent that from happening again? It's like, let's use these microphones and this. That may not be practical. And then I go to like, it's not mine to fix. And then I have to go like, baby, I hear you. Yeah. That stinks. Let me know what I can do to make things better. I made her some eggs. I made her some sausage. I put her breast in my mouth.
I knew you were going to say it. I was like, there's no.
But I said it like a gentleman.
That was such a gift for me. That was all for me. I know. So funny. I'm deep in. I love you so much. My day already feels better. Not from the breast.
It was from the breast.
No.
Make sure and like and subscribe to this podcast. It was from my mouth.
It's what you say. What do you say when you just state it?
You declare it.
Yeah.
So you say it out loud.
Yeah.
This is what's bothering me. And then like it's magic where almost immediately you feel better versus like bottling versus pushing it down, like bypassing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I do. I feel better.
Yeah,
and
good.
it's okay. It's just, I was telling the client yesterday that boss Lauren can get frustrated with employee Lauren sometimes. And then employee Lauren's like, I promise I'll get it done. And boss Lauren's like,
Added to that also, you're not sleeping great right now. Added to that also, like we're
yeah, that's
transitioning
also right.
mattresses.
That's right. You put a new mattress in our room this
Yeah,
week.
we got a new mattress.
Exactly.
lot
Like
of
it's
shit.
just a week. And I was telling the sweet individual that are my buddy at Starbucks that it is not a big deal. These are all little things that have compounded, and it's going to be okay. I loved our last night. We did like highlights and lowlights with the baby in the kitchen.
That was fun.
And we were cackling at the lowlights because all of our lowlights weren't even that hard. Like we were teasing you. You hit a couple of bad
I scored
shots.
some sand shots in practice.
And she had to ride the bus home.
She had to ride the bus
And
home.
we were like, oh, Trey hit some bad shots. Oh, the baby had to ride a
Yeah.
long bus ride home without her phone. That's what it is. Like, is it frustrating that I recorded this? Yes. Am I in danger? I am not in danger. I am safe. I am loved. I love my work. It is all okay. It's going to work out.
What would you call that? Would you call that like compartmentalizing it?
Yeah, or just putting in perspective.
Good. When can that be healthy and when can that be unhealthy?
Unhealthy, I think, would be if I wasn't attending to them, right? Or they were little things and yet they were consistent patterns. All of these things that we've discussed this week are kind of one-offs. We don't change the mattress every week.
No, we don't.
I do not have work retreats on my weekends every week. Don't intend to. I don't go to school every weekend. The baby doesn't start high school every week. These are all one-offs that compounded. I don't want to live a life that I feel I need to run away from. I am not interested in that. So the majority of habits and routines and rituals that I have in my life allow me to enjoy the work that I do, the life that I lead. And there are sometimes weeks like this. That's all. And I can put it in perspective. If there's anything that needs to be changed, it should be changed. I'm a change maker. I'm a choice maker. But there's not really that much.
Cool.
Yeah. Because you said to me, has this been a harder period? And my clients know when
Like
I
a literal
teach.
period.
Yeah. Like I am literal. That's funny. Yeah. I'm menstruating. So a harder menstrual cycle. And I said, yes. And I do believe that's because usually I create space for myself. I've been trying. I've been doing what I can. I got in the bath this morning. I have been doing what I can. And it's not every period menstrual cycle that my child starts high school on the same day as my period. And it was also a full moon. All of that was happening at the same time. It's okay.
In the full moon thing, you could go like witchy astrology, or you could just go like we're basically water sacks. And so we get yanked as far as tides and low tides and stuff by the full moon.
Babies are born on a full moon.
Because of the water?
Yeah.
Does it increase or decrease or both or depending?
There's a great increase of births around the full moon. And I think it has to do with the excess water that is in a pregnant person's body. It's wild, like wild. And yeah, you could go witchy woo-woo if you want to. You could also just say science. And there's a greater gravitational pull or whatever. I don't know the science behind it, but it's just true. And, if my little statement fully enough and only enough is true, I don't think I'm any less than this week. I just think I'm only enough. And it's got to be okay. So I've been doing a lot of that intervening at the level of sensation. I've been doing a lot of like turning towards the sensations. I feel very teary. And like, okay, like A, I can always cry, but B, some of my tendencies, right, are I'm a failure. So then I go to Lauren's clutch, which is overfunctioning. I'm like, I don't have to.
Your clutch?
Like crutch, sorry.
Crutch.
My thing that I clutch onto when I start feeling like a failure is, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll work more.
Your crutch is also maybe your default? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I cling to it. And that did keep me safe. I was telling clients this yesterday, that for the longest time, that not only kept me safe, it was rewarded, it was celebrated, and I don't want to do that anymore.
To overfunction.
Yeah.
To focus on others versus focusing within.
Mm-hmm.
To go faster and do a bunch of shit versus the opposite.
Yeah.
Get really still and calm.
Or allow myself to be frustrated that a podcast didn't record. Sad. Cry tears. Be disappointed.
Do you ever get to say, like, I'm fucking angry?
I was telling my friend at Starbucks again this, because I got to the gym and everybody wanted to chit chat about our TV show from forever ago.
Yeah.
It was so funny. It like came up.
Was it on? Was it like a rerun or something?
Somebody went to California recently and somebody said, oh, Lauren's husband's from California. They said, no. They said, yeah, there's like a whole TV show about it. And they were like, what? And people love reality TV. So someone was talking up our show. So then this person just got back from California and said, I tried to find it to watch on the plane. I was going to download it. I couldn't find it. Do you know where it is? I said, that's funny because a friend just sent the photo yesterday. The baby was just trying to show it to somebody yesterday. It's like, everybody's talking about this. And so then everybody was like, TV show what? Like, tell us. And I was not in a chatty mood because I literally had just tried to record a podcast. Sure. And I literally wanted to say, shut the fuck up.
To everybody?
To everyone. I don't want to talk. I want to move my body. This time is for me. I don't want to talk right now.
What did you actually do?
I finished up the conversation. Thank God my instructor, shout out, Wednesday S, doesn't allow people talking in class, though. But I'm sure I looked like a grump.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, there's not a fine line, but it's like, telling people to shut the fuck up, not really acceptable.
I didn't do that.
Kind of answering their questions in a grumpy mood, pretty universally acceptable.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
And then you can find it, I want to say, on Amazon, Moving for Love, like season 1 or something. I think we're episode 2, or maybe episode 1. I don't
see. That's what somebody said.
It was shitty. Shout out to all the people that made it. They were wonderful and professional.
Incredible.
It was just shit though.
It spins. We weren't allowed to mention the pandemic. It's
which
rough.
Is wild.
It's rough. Anyway, I was fine. But what do I allow myself to do? I allowed the emotions to be normalized. I understood where the frustration came from. And I didn't want to take it out on other people. It's not their fault. And I moved my body. I didn't really want to go to the gym, also because of where I am in my menstrual cycle. So I took lots of breaks, but I was like, moving your body will be better. Not sitting in this stagnancy will be better. Good. And it's true. I did feel better. And I think what's so neat about movement is that there are many wins within working out, right? If you can do one more squat or one more bicep curl with your 3-pound weight, shout out, there's a sense of accomplishment from that for me that can feel like, oh, that's right. I'm not a failure.
It's like making your bed in the morning. That's a win. It's like the first win they talk about. I got it.
Yeah. So, I drank my protein shake on the way, right? I did these things that I know love on my body. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's really okay. It feels so... can you tell how uncomfortable... Like, I hate... it is so funny. Like, I would so much rather bypass and just get through this and not want to feel my own emotions.
Well, good for you, babe. Like, good for you to actually, like, push into the uncomfort. Good for you to reroute. So instead of going down fucking default lane, you're rerouting. Mm-hmm. So good.
Which is so funny that my reroute is sitting in an emotion. I know. It's wild. It's wild.
My reroute is not yelling fuck as loud as I can.
Right. And it's like, I need to learn how to do that more. And you need me more.
And I need to learn how to, catch it before it happens.
Funny. We're good for each other. I just remember what I wanted to talk about today.
By all means.
You had a boys' weekend this past weekend.
Yeah.
And we have what do we have? We have a tradition of when you go away on things like this, we talk either not at all, if it's a short period of time, if it's a little bit longer, the smallest amount. Mm-hmm. And we've kind of done this since day one, and it's kind of an unspoken thing. We don't talk about when you leave. I'm not like, okay, I won't talk to you. I'll see you when you get back. We don't talk about it. It just happens. It's like our little code.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know also that if I had some emergency, I would just immediately call you, but there's not really that many things that go on around here. Anyway, so I'd like to know like how it felt to do that, and does it still feel good in your body that we do our whole little non-communication thing, and why is that fun? Because I talk about with my clients, attraction plus obstacle equals excitement. And these are some of these little mini obstacles that we put in the way to increase excitement. It's a fun thing that we do. And so I want to hear how that felt for you. And then I want us to talk about our kind of like mini disaster that went down post coming home.
Okay.
Can we talk about that a little bit? Okay.
Yeah. I like the space to miss you. And we did, it's not entire. I think you texted me like Saturday morning and I shot you like a little 10-second video. I think that was the most of our...
Oh, Friday morning.
Was it Friday morning?
And I didn't think the retreat had really started yet.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
So I think that was it, but we didn't do check-ins. We didn't do any FaceTimes or anything like that. And granted, I'm 20 minutes away. So we rented out a Airbnb off my golf course. And the question was like, why do we kind of not feel the need to like constantly check in with each other?
How does it feel for you? What does it give you? Like, do you enjoy it? Why do you enjoy it? That little space that we take from each other?
Yeah, like, I almost like forget about you.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah.
No. I like it.
You are a grown, independent woman. And you are fully capable without me. And then, like, seeing the juxtaposition of two of my buddies that were there, where one of the guys, his kids were constantly FaceTiming him. And then I think his wife, he talked to his wife on FaceTime, like, I swear to God, like 4 fucking times in 48 hours. And so he was on FaceTime a lot. And great. Like, I guess maybe that works for them, like the access or something like that. But it's like, yo, it's just, I think we had one time, it's like, hey, we got to go. Or it's like, we got to move. And then he's like, okay, all right, I'll get off. And I understand both sides of it, where it's like, it's lovely to check in. It's lovely to say hi. But we don't really do it. How do you feel about it?
I love it. I also forget about you. It's so nice. And y'all, I don't mean that in some unkind way. I mean it in, before there was us, there was individual Lauren. There was individual Trey. And it's really neat to look at the research of those early days of courtship, of wooing somebody. You didn't know much about them. And there's so much mystery that can happen, so much intrigue when you don't know what the person's doing all weekend. And yeah, I got to spend one-on-one time with the baby, just like focused. We had slumber parties. We laughed so hard late into the night. And I saw clients. Yeah, I just functioned on my own. It feels like a relief. It feels like a little less caretaking. We take a lot of care of one another, which is beautiful. You do so much for me every day. I bet that feels like a relief. It feels like a big emotional relief, like one less person to be checking in on. And why not luxuriate in that? It's not going to be forever. There's always a point at which I'm like, okay, I miss you.
Yeah. Like, for me, I get to focus on myself and my buddies.
Yes, which is healthy.
Correct.
Outside relationships are so healthy for our relationships.
Yeah.
It's not a detriment. It is an enhancer.
And again, I want the space to miss you. We're not in constant contact all day. And then being in constant contact with someone kind of kills... or it dulls like the mystery of like, what are they doing? And then like I get excited just at the end of today, we get to check in with each other, because at a point, it will be the last time we see each other for like 8 hours. Because you have a big work day today, and I have practice and then a lesson and then play. So, and then we'll get back together like this evening.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of each other, which is funny.
Not much.
Because
we do and we don't. Where we do check-ins, and then we kind of go. And then if we need to talk about logistics throughout the day, we do. But other than that, no. Or we'll send thought pictures. Not thoughtful, thought. And if you don't know what thought stands for, it's that hoe over there. So we'll send each other thirst traps.
All day.
Yeah.
Not all day, but often. It's my favorite thing. So we did this like norms. I loved it. You loved it. People kept asking me, how's Trey's weekend going? And I was like, I don't know. And they were shocked by this fact that we don't really chat. And then about the day that you're supposed to get home, I always start to get so excited So excited.
When I was closing out the Airbnb, like doing final walkthroughs, I was like, oh, I miss my wife.
Which is the best part because it's like, ooh, we're going to come back together. I don't know if you knew this, but I really wanted to be gone. We were going to Charlottesville, the baby and I. I really wanted to be gone before you got home because I did not want to see you. I wanted this to be like an extension of your space. Yeah. I knew that this had been a thing that she and I had planned. You knew we were planning it. Like everybody knew. And you got home much earlier than I was anticipating. I was anticipating an arrival back at home at like 11 for you. And you walked in the door at like 10:15, I want to say.
Sure.
And baby and I were supposed to leave at 10:45. I think we did. But that was still fine. I gave you kisses and was like, hey, we're about to head out. You can still take your decompression time. Yeah. Take us through what then went down.
No, it was like a buildup of like, it was like, hey, don't, you told me, you're like, don't come. I want you to save it.
You asked me, I think almost immediately, did you come while I was gone?
Yeah.
And what I would teach other people and what I teach myself is the female-bodied orgasm is different than the male-bodied orgasm. So for women, orgasm begets orgasm. There is not like this like semen retention thing. And so I had like, very lustful weekend. My period was about to start, so greater blood flow, all this type of stuff. I think I had orgasms like 3 different times, like had different solo sex practices. And so like couldn't wait for you to get home. Like I was like horny, excited for my husband. So you walk in the door, you ask that, and I'm like, yeah, I like can't wait to have you like 3 times. And I'm like, what about you? And you're like, no, I didn't come at all. Like you were so in boy mode.
I didn't have a lustful weekend. I had a Coors Light and pre-rolls weekend.
And golf.
Edibles,
and pools.
Pool weekend.
Yeah.
Little C's. We crushed C's.
Little Caesars is what he means. I had never heard.
We were blessed with the C's.
I was like, what does that even mean?
C's. This way.
So he says, no, like I haven't come at all. And so I say, I think you said, do you want me to save it for you? Because that is not usually something that I would tell you to do. I would not regulate that. And I was like, oh my God, yeah. Like, can you wait till I get home? Because I'm thinking in my mind, there is a certain kind of Trey who like can't get enough of me and is like ravenous. Y'all,
grabby, handsy.
Verbally
aggressive.
He always is desirous. It is beautiful. I always feel desired. But there is a certain kind of Trey when he is like... like it is like I am like being devoured and it is so fun. It is such a fun energy. Is it something that I need all the time? Fuck no. It is not something that I need you to even consider. You are an amazing lover. Let's make it very clear.
Thank you.
But I was very excited for this like very particular type of devourous energy. So you're like, you want me to save it for you? And I'm like, yes. Oh my God. Right. So the entire time I'm in Charlottesville, I'm thinking like, oh my God, I can't wait to get home. Like, yes, I'm tired, but I cannot wait to like roll around in my bed with my husband. So I get home and.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
So they leave and I think I'm sitting somewhere and I need to work. And by work, I mean, watch like 12 preseason football games. You got to see the rotations, who's coming in after the starters, things like that. You don't really want to look at personnel packages because it's mostly vanilla in the preseason. Don't worry about that. But you want to see who's getting the reps in what order. So there's something that comes over my brain where it's like, you need to come now. And I came. And I had to it was a business decision, honey. I had to get the poison out because I had to focus on the NFL.
In your mind, were you at all like, I just told Lauren I wouldn't do this? Or did you just like completely forget?
I think I didn't forget. But so I came.
Was there any guilt or shame?
Nope. There was relief, honey.
What were you like? She might not like this.
Then I grinded something else.
I'm sorry. Hello. Where was I in this consideration?
It was me. It was the league. It was Fantasy Glory. You were somewhere. You were somewhere at the bottom, babe. Yeah. And so I confessed as soon as she got home. I helped with unload the groceries, and my wife was at very low capacity, I could tell. And then I confessed, and she hid her unhappiness for a while. And then she finally told me, she's like, yo, hey, I got to share an ouch. Like, I was really looking forward to you being in your kind of randy mood. And you came without me.
Yeah, I was crying downstairs. Yeah. And again, this is not it is not your job to bring me pleasure. It was just this certain space to play that I was so excited about. And so it is not the orgasm. It is that I was so excited for like this certain flavor.
Ravenous energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it felt a little bit like a breach of trust. Like, wait, did we not talk about this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
And again, it is not something we typically do. And so I was like, okay, now I don't like that I even said that. Like, maybe I shouldn't have said it
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to control your masturbatory practice. Like, that's
Sure.
yours. And then I was like, no, so it is not the orgasm. It's not the masturbation. It is not any of that. It is that it was something that we had said we'd do.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was not done. And then that hurt. And I was like, Lauren, you need to share that.
Yep.
It's okay to share that.
Thank you.
How did it feel when I shared that?
I was like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it still hurts. Because I guess I don't know did you share with me like what you would do differently? Like, or yeah, like going forward.
What I would do differently is, did I bring it up? I was like, hey, you want me to save it for you? Was I the one who said it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would have scheduled, hey, do you want me to save it for you? And I would have scheduled an opportunity for sex to happen, which we didn't have on the books. So we didn't talk about, hey, when do you want to have sexy time?
Mm-hmm.
So I would have scheduled an opportunity for sex to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think maybe in your mind, you correct me if I'm wrong, you were like the time, it's like the whole plan wasn't followed through. There wasn't like oh great, I'm saving it for her, and saving it sounds like I hate the phrase.
Fine.
And when she gets back,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna unload the groceries,
Mm-hmm.
the baby's gonna watch a movie, and we're gonna have solo time together.
Sure.
There wasn't like a plan.
No.
Okay.
I
So
would've scheduled a
going
plan.
forward, if we say that again, we'll like put a time on the calendar.
That's
a
what I
space
would
to
have.
play.
I would have actually kept my word
Okay.
first, and then two, to look forward to like when.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I think I'm glad you brought up the like keep my word. I think I talk with folks about this when we're talking about porn all the time. Because it is not the porn viewing that hurts people. It is when someone says, I promise I'll never watch porn again.
Mm-hmm.
And then they break a promise.
Yeah.
And so I'm not desirous of setting up opportunities for us to break promises to one another.
Correct.
I
Yeah.
am not interested in it.
I'm not interested in being that person either, because it's very important for me to do what I say I'm going to do. And in this situation, I didn't do what I said I was going to do.
And I am and I remember saying this when I was sharing my ouch, you don't break your word. You're like not a person who does that either. So I think those instances hurt that much more.
Yeah, I take pride in it, but I'm not perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Is so that like my body literally doesn't know what to do when that happens because it's so out of the ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Didn't I boo-boo you? What was the boo-boo that you shared?
Yes. And was the boo-boo motivated by my ouch?
Yeah.
So did you boo-boo me because I boo-booed you?
I was just so low resiliency. Going back, I just wouldn't have shared what I did in the way I did.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been more careful, but I was already depleted, and then I'd been ouched, and
Was it kind of a got you back?
it was
Maybe not consciously, but like...
So Trey had asked like why I hadn't gotten more for myself at like an athletic store, and I shared because I got something for you, and I think by this point, like if I was unfiltered, I would have been like, I chose for me. Like, I chose for me. I made a choice. Like, and I think I would have yelled, like, I get choice. You chose your choices, right? Like, I was in like a space because
You're extremely low resilience.
so low resiliency.
Like a 1, right?
And
Out of 5, 1.
I had chosen, I had really thought about in the store the capacity, my limits. I really wanted to get you those good things. Like I had really gone through it.
Yeah.
And so then when I came home to hear I wasn't considered like that with a choice that you made, and then my choices were questioned, like, well, why did you do that? It's like I flipped.
Okay, that wasn't how it was framed, though. It was framed where it was, I got these things for you, and I chose not to get things from me because your things were really expensive. And that's where the ouch came from at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's really expensive. Yeah. Yes, I understand. That's what it felt like. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think I was just so low resiliency that I was like, mm-mm. And I'm sure, like, if I was to have the wheel of consent up on some whiteboard right now, was I so excited? You know, I've used the phrase on here before, receive and be received. Mm. I was so excited to give a good gift. And then I think I was anticipating a gift for myself too. Mm-hmm. And so then when I didn't get my gift, like this is base, this is not something I'm bragging about. I think I was cutting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so low resiliency.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's not my finest moment.
Okay. You take ownership.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
It's what we can do when we fuck up. Mm-hmm. Or when when we ouch each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Take ownership.
Mm-hmm. And
my bad.
Yeah, my bad too.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because this has come up with everybody this weekend, this week. This idea of limits, and that giving gifts outside of our limits it's not okay. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just not okay. It's not a gift, right? And so
it's not, especially when you weaponize generosity. Yeah, I've had that happen to me before, where it's like, oh, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. You just weaponized your generosity, and it's like, man, fuck you. I'm not talking about
no,
you
but I'm sure it felt similar.
It felt like, well, it was interesting because I didn't know you had ouched me. I didn't know that I had ouched you. Mm-hmm. So when you said that, it was, oh, I sacrificed for you. And in my mind, it's like, wait a minute, I didn't ask you to do that. Mm-hmm. And so now it's no longer like
a gift,
generous, and like I'm excited. Now it's like I put myself out and I sacrificed where I didn't get the things that I wanted because I wanted to get these things for you. And then it's a mind fuck where it's like, A, I didn't ask for this. B, why are you sharing it? Why are you framing it this way where now it's like, I feel, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, Dr. Betty Martin, which we go to her training very soon.
It'll be fun. I get to inside look at
all of this stuff.
Lauren's stuffs.
Says limits first, gift second.
Good.
Isn't that beautiful? Mm-hmm. Limits first, gift second. Because if we don't know our limits, it's not a gift. And what's funny is inside the store, I said limits first, gift second, which is why I put something back. I considered, what do I really need? Mm-hmm. And I had carried this like sports bra around. And while I was carrying it around, it literally like smudged and did all this stuff. And I was like, oh, actually, this is really good. I don't want a garment that does this. Not interested. I would rather buy my sweet partner this thing that he wants, that he needs, that he shared, that he wants. We'd talked about some of it. And
then also, I'm in my full capacity to go out and do it myself.
Exactly.
Too.
It's not like he needs me to do these things.
This wasn't
a
thing.
Maternal thing. But I said limits first, gift second. Okay, great. I have a budgetary limit here, and I will set my limit. I couldn't afford, quote unquote, and that's okay. Money is a tangible asset to also get fill in the blank. And also it's smudged, and I was like, no, I don't like that. So I had considered that, but then it was interesting because in the back of my mind, I was assuming I was coming home to some type of husband.
You're assuming you were coming home to what you agreed upon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting when I work with clients because when we experience something, taking from, so then I came home and I almost felt robbed. Like this experience that I was hoping to have feels taken from me, which is outside of consent. This was an accident. Trey wasn't trying to violate. What I find is that people go to another form of non-consensual behavior. And it's like we retaliate with another ugly, right? You didn't know you hurt me, but it's like, fine, want to play that game? And so like I went to this different ugly.
Sure.
And
it's not something I don't think we're used to. I'm definitely not used to it from you. Are you used to that from me? Kind of a tit for tat.
Keeping your word? Oh, tit for tat. Yeah, neither.
We don't play those. Mm-mm. You play dumb games, you win dumb prizes. We don't play that dumb game.
No.
We did that day.
We did.
Well, the royal we.
Yeah. And yay for tools, because I sat there in my ouchiness for maybe an hour and then came to you. Wouldn't you say that was about the time frame? Yeah.
I'd say 30 minutes.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't like this. I don't have a solution. I don't know, but I know I can share my ouch with him. And I did. And you took so much accountability. And then you said, can I share a boo-boo? And I didn't know what it was going to be.
Okay.
Which is funny, right? Did you know what my outro was going to be?
No.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Because I'll fuck you. That's the thing.
Right. I think
Hard.
It's not like Trey was thinking.
Long. It's not like,
no,
because
I'm came, I'm never going to have special times with my lady again. No. And yeah. So we talked through it. And it doesn't I want everybody to hear, when you're low resiliency, it's not like you kiss and everything goes away. We still needed to be tender towards one another. We still needed to set aside space and time for one another. It doesn't just magically poof, go away, but I was really glad we utilized a modality that we have so quickly. And like all the other times, like on our honeymoon when he silenced my orgasm, now it's just become a story. And that's awesome. We ended up telling our friends about it Tuesday night, and they were all like, oh, like, you can't do that, right? Like,
I learned my lesson.
Yeah. And so we've already made it into a tale, and these things happen.
That's the sign of true forgiveness, when you can kind of make fun of it.
Yeah. We are human beings. We fuck up.
Yeah.
And I want to be the type of human being who fucks up and takes accountability for it and
Me too.
goes, oh yeah, I see what I did there. And yeah, this is what I'm going to try to do to not do that again. I don't want you to feel poorly for gifts that you're given. That's ridiculous. And yeah, I want to trust your word, like these are types of people that we want to be. And yeah, I'm proud of us. I am. So yeah, we put in these obstacles because attraction plus obstacle equals excitement. And then it failed. Then it fell kind of like flat on its face. And I don't think we had sex for days because it also like connected to my menstrual cycle.
It was so connected to low resiliency. It was day 1 or day 2 of menstruation when you took the trip. You were exhausted. We had just ouched each other. It was the next day was baby. No, was it?
We didn't actually consummate until
that was your
work retreat. Yeah.
Right? There's just a lot of shit going on.
Until like Tuesday night. And
imagine if you have like 3 to 6-year-olds running around. Right? Holy shit, just terrorizing your house.
It's so important to think through these things, that this is why long-term sexual relationships that are successful and thriving should never look at the frequency of sex. It is not about that.
Mm-mm.
It is about the quality of sex. It is about the commitment to creating spaces to play together. It is about investing in social currency and repairing things like that, because that led to great intimacy way later Tuesday evening when we were even telling our friends,
That's
right?
hot.
That like, we're going to get laid tonight and we haven't gotten laid. And we were like teasing and touching and all these types of things. And beautiful. No pressure on, okay, well now we've repaired this ouch and this boo-boo. Let's have sex. No.
Which is awesome also. I'm going to stop you right there.
Oh, it
That
could be
rules
if I
as
had
well.
higher resiliency.
Yeah.
But I was still low resiliency and needed to rest and needed to like be internal, and I had no desire.
We've gone through times where we hurt each other and then we verbally say, and then after a while, there's no more talking that needs to get done. Now you need to reconnect physically.
Yeah. Language of the body.
Yeah.
Mother tongue.
That's what's up.
And
I want to get some mother tongue. Divorced mother of one tongue. You know what I'm saying? It's you, babe.
That's me.
It's you.
That's me. Yeah, it was good. I'm proud of us. It was hard, but we did it.
Yep.
Welcome back from your guys' weekend.
Thank you. We had fun.
I'm so glad. So necessary. So necessary.
One of the guys bragged about bullshit. Then he got bodied by a couple of high handicap golfers because he's like a low handicap. And he was just bragging about bullshit. And then we took him to the woodshed the next day. Don't brag about bullshit if you're out there. And if you do, I mean, people are going to call you out on it. Thanks for coming to this episode of the Partnership Podcast.
Do it. See how much you can do.
Lauren's my wife, and she does healing. And if you want to talk to her one-to-one, you could set up a free consult at sexedforyou/free consult.
Yeah. Sexedforyou.com. They should put the .com there.
People don't, it's not implied anymore that .com is what you... Listen, you live under a fucking rock. Put .com. Jesus. Go to the website, okay? She's super patient. Me, not so much. I don't want to talk to you. I don't even read the comments. It's actually part of our partnership agreements.
Part of our agreement. I read your comments. I respond to all of you. Like, share, subscribe, follow, all that kind of stuff. Please remember that these are our opinions and our opinions only. You have a right to self-determination and informed decision-making. I am a certified holistic sexuality educator and almost an embodied intimacy and relationship coach. Y'all are the best. Thanks for coming to this episode. Hope it's helpful to see us as very human people. Bye-bye.